Hey, how you going? Claire Williamson here. I am going to try and do a training. Instead of a live, I'm going to try and do a training. Because I've had so many people coming to me recently asking me the same question. Like, Claire, how have you gone from where you were to where you are? And I can see the steps. I can see the steps that I took, and I want to share them on, right? So I'm going, hi Barbara, how are you, my love? I'm going to try and do a training, not just a live video. I'm going to try and do a training, and hopefully I haven't burnt myself out, because I've already today done a discovery call and presented on a big company training, and I've just done a half-an-hour training in my team group as well. So I'm hoping that, hey Sheila, how are you? I'm hoping that there's still some left to be of value to you right now. So the first thing is everything that I have and everything about where I am right now reflects my mindset. So when you look around you right now, in terms of your success, in terms of your relationships, in terms of your finances, I want you to believe me when I say that it all reflects your mindset. And that might highlight some areas of your mindset that just might need some work. So I wasn't always where I am now, right? That's the thing. Like, just a couple of years ago, 2.5 years ago, I was in a terrible place, okay? Like, nothing was really working for me. I was in this place of spinning my wheels, trying a heap of different stuff, and nothing was working. And my finances were ruined. So, like, I mean, I looked at my bank account today and I felt emotional, because I've never seen that amount of money in my business account before. And I actually felt I was overwhelmed with, like, I don't know what it was, like gratitude, happiness, relief, hope. And it never used to be like that, right? So one of the things that I think was really wrong when I was where I was my money mindset. So I had a very different money mindset to what I have now. And the other thing is my focus as well, like that spinning wheels, that hustle, that kind of not having direction, that was very different back then as well. My self-belief was completely lacking. I had no clarity whatsoever on the real finer points of where I was going and how I got there. And I just had a bunch of objections and excuses. And I also used to make a hell of a lot of assumptions. I was always making assumptions of what I believed things were and what I believed people were thinking. You know, a lot of assumptions instead of truth. And that was also down to my beliefs as well. Like, you know, my beliefs about how things were and my beliefs about me. They weren't the truth, right? That I'd never taken the time to really figure out, ask the question, is this the truth? So how did I get to where I am today? The number one thing was inner work. And this is the thing that I see a lot of people shying away from and undermining how powerful it is. You know, they haven't got time for inner work. They've got the work to do, right? They've got the hustle to do. But what about no fucking hustle? What about a world where you're not hustling because you have real clarity on what you're doing and you have real freedom in your time? You know, that comes from the inner work. Like, everything that you do is underpinned by you, right? So when I say the inner work was the number one thing that got me to where I am, that was really learning to be authentic and understanding who that authentic person was and feeling okay with how that authentic person shows up. Because, you know, there are things about me that are a bit different, and I used to shy away from that and feel embarrassed and feel funny about putting that person out there. So the journey to being confident with that person and really finding her out and learning to love her was huge, right? And being able to show up. So what, like, oh man, like, what is that worth? What is that worth to you? when you're thinking about time to do the inner work, you know, like it's not important. Think about what it's worth. Think about what the end result of that is and how much that is worth. And then ask the question whether you've got time to do the inner work or you can afford to do the inner work. I feel so fucking strongly about this because, you know, really getting into my coaching now and doing these discovery calls every day, it's like, it's the thing that people aren't willing to do. It's the thing that they haven't got time to do or they can't afford to do, but it's the one thing that got me from where I was to where I am, right? So I feel strongly about this. And the second thing that got me from where I was to where I am, like I said, was that fucking money mindset. Oh my God, like my scarcity mindset was just so bad. And that comes from how you grow up, right? It comes from the experiences that you go through and the beliefs that you create as you're going through those experiences. But my money mindset was bad and it was really, really slowing me down in terms of making money. And so like that manifested in my willingness to pay for stuff. It is only this year where I have taken that abundance mindset and gone, okay, you know what? I see the value in that. I'm going to pay for it. You know, it didn't have to be a direct ROI or like the feeling like there wasn't enough. Fuck it. We'll find it because it's going to help me, right? It's going to help me go forward. I'll do whatever it takes to find it, to go forward. That real willingness to pay money for things shifted. And also my thoughts around selling. People get very icky with selling. It's Black Friday this weekend, right? And, you know, you can come across the people who are like, everybody's selling something. They're trying to sell me something. But what if what they're selling gives you value? Like, what if what they're selling helps you? You know, takes away a problem, takes away a pain, makes something easier for you. Create something in your life that gives you value. Is selling a bad thing? No. Selling is an exchange of value. And if there's value being exchanged, it's okay to put a price on that. So my mindset shifted a lot around that and how I felt about selling and how I felt about that exchange of value. And, you know, like a big thing, being a coach and not having a coach. Expecting somebody to do something that you're not willing to do, that's huge, right? If you're expecting somebody to buy from your business, you have to be buying from businesses. You have to have that openness. Holding on to money. This is something I've done with my client this week. He sent me this beautiful message, or we spoke to each other on the phone, and he said something along the lines of how he has shifted, how he realized that he's been holding on to money through scarcity, through fear. Scarcity is fear, right? And we've all been there. We've been in that place where there hasn't been enough and you want to do something to make sure you don't go back there again. But in that holding on to money, it creates this vibration that is stuck. Whereas money is a currency and it's meant to flow. If you think about breathing, you breathe in so you can breathe out and then you breathe in again. Hey Jade, how you going?
Why do I need to do my bath?
I'm going to do your bath as soon as you've had dinner and we're just going to have dinner
No.
now.
Now.
Okay, I'll do it now. I'll come out. You go out there and I'll come out. Love you. She's so cute right now. She's like uber personality, uber strong. You do this now, mummy. You do this now. Yeah, so money is a currency. It's meant to flow. It's meant to go in, to come out, go out, to come in. In breath, if you think about breathing, you breathe in so you can breathe out, but then you breathe in again. So money's like that. There's always going to be enough as long as you are, you know, creating that flow energetically in how you're spending it, how you're, you know, what your mindset and energy is around it, not holding on. If you hold on, then you're just basically building a wall to more coming in. And I was there, right? I was there because of fear. Giving is another thing. Giving when you haven't got it to give is powerful because it shifts your mindset around money. If you give it, even though you haven't got it, and then more comes back, it kind of helps you to see that there is that flow, right? So three things that you can do right now to improve your money mindset before we get into the 5 steps to create an impactful business. 3 things that you can do around money is lose that language, I can't afford. I want you to erase it. Every time you think about saying it, every time it comes to the tip of your tongue, you change it to, I am not prioritizing this right now. And how you know you're not prioritizing this right now is because you've got your vision. Your vision is so clear on who you're becoming, what that person is doing, how that person's showing up, where that person's making impact. You're so clear on that vision that you know it's not a priority. You know, it's not that you can't afford it. We can afford it. If you can afford to put it one place, you can afford to put it in another place, right? It's not a truth. It's another bullshit lie that you're telling yourself that has been conditioned by what you heard from your parents or what you hear on the news or what everybody fearmongers you into thinking. It's not that you can't afford it, because that money that you're going to put there, that you're telling yourself you can't afford to place it, you'll put somewhere else. You can't. It's not that you can't afford it. You're not prioritizing it. Change your language. Change your energy around money. Number 2, sorry, there wasn't 3. There was 2 things. The other thing is to create a money wish list. And this makes people feel uncomfortable, right? Which is why we're going to do it. You're going to actually make a wish list of the amounts of money that you want, not that you need, not that you feel responsibility for, that you want. Feel desire around money, and it will change your energy around money. Ray Higdon, who I just adore, and again, I'm sure he watches my lives. I don't think he ever watches my lives, but if by chance the guy comes on my lives, Ray, thank you. Like, I owe you so much for changing this vibration around money, because you've allowed me to feel good about money. And he told me, he said, money is a magnifier. If you are a good person, then you'll only magnify that with more money. And it's truth. I'm supporting the Breast Cancer Society. I'm supporting Iracambi. You know, like, everything that you do, you can do more of. So even if the idea of earning $1 billion makes you feel icky, well, what other things can you do with, like, the other 9 million if you only spend a million? And don't quote me on my maths there, because me and numbers don't work. But, you know, you spend what you want to spend on what you really want, which you might be like me and it's not very much. You know, you're kind of happy with the simple life. And all the rest of it you give away. You know, change that energy around money. Hey, Wayne, change that energy around money, and how money shows up in your life will change. But if nothing changes, nothing changes. So I spent a year on this shit, like really working on the inner work. I spent a year doing that. So that was kind of the first step, right? Another quote from Ray is, if your commitment strategy is stronger than your exit strategy, you're good. Okay, so you got to commit to this stuff. If you're going to do the inner work, you got to do the inner work, not find excuses not to do the inner work and be more committed to them than doing the inner work. That really is step number 1, right? You got to commit to you. There's power in you. There's so much power in you, but you're pushing it down. You're pushing it down with your fear. You're pushing it down with your excuses, and you can unleash that, right? You can unleash that power. That is the coaching package that I have right now, is you unleashed. Like, imagine you unleash that power. You take away all those limiting beliefs. You take away everything they believe about the world that is not true, all those untruths. You build that confidence. You get that alignment. What the fuck can you bring into the world? Like, that is exciting. You unleashed. So, like, just to give you, and you unleashed is you showing up, right? Because nothing is going to create your success other than you and how you show up. My girlfriend came round to drop her puppy off because we're puppy sitting today, and she goes to me, oh yeah, like, I totally get it. Like, my friend, I was talking about going and knocking doors. I'm knocking doors to get the raffle tickets to raise the 700 and something, still short of my Pledge Me campaign. Like, that's what I'm doing, right? I'm showing up. And she said, my friend built her real estate business. She just owns this massive part of the Bay of Plenty, or Auckland, I don't know, details. But she did it because she knocked doors. She wasn't handed out some opportunity that gave her that success, right? She didn't have more qualifications than the next person. She didn't have more luck than the next person. She showed up. She went and she just took everything that she had, unleashed it, and knocked those doors and created that success. And another example is the flipping houses guy, Tarek. I'm not sure of his surname. We met him at where I went to Florida in October, that event, the social media summit. The guy blew me away because he stood on the stage and he told us his story, right? His story of gain, then loss, then gain, then loss, and how he could have seen all of these obstacles as obstacles, but he saw them as, you know, opportunities to learn and to grow, which is what my book's about as well, Life Through a Lens, which is why I'm knocking doors for raffle tickets. It's about perspective. It's about the power of perspective and how you can use that perspective to create different outcomes in your life. And that is what Tarek did. The guy had never flipped a fucking house before he went to the TV channel and pitched flipping houses. That's what he wanted to do, right? He saw the opportunity in it. He understood what he'd learned from what he'd been through, losing everything twice, not just once, twice. He lost his fucking money, which was bad. Then he lost his family, and that was worse. And he learned from those experiences. He came back stronger. He had nothing, and he went to that TV channel and he said, never flipped a house, but want to do a channel program flipping houses. You know, he saw what he could do. He saw what the opportunity was, and he put himself out there and he just went for it. He didn't use excuses. He had no excuses. He just had power unleashed. And so I love this idea of creating and leading. Like, I think where I've come to in my life and my business, my dinner's ready, is this idea that we have so many excuses and obstacles and reasons why we can't, right? And like the live that I did the other day about qualifications, you know, we need this qualification and we're not qualified enough. And what I really love is the idea that you fuck all of that and you just create what you want to create and you lead with it. Just because it hasn't been done before doesn't mean it can't be done, right? If you show up in all your power that's yours, not the power that you've edited because you don't think you're good enough, the power that you have that is yours, show up, create and lead. I love that. Like, I'm so passionate about that. And that's what I want to do now, is show people through my journey that you can do that and give you the steps. So these 5 steps, okay, right, I kind of took the long way around to getting there, but grab a pen because these are them. 5 steps to create your impactful business. Number 1, commit to you. Spend a year, or don't spend a year. Spend less than a year getting a coach because you'll get there faster. But number 1, connect with that story. Understand where you've been and why it's important to where you're going. Craft that vision of what you want, who you are to become more of. Sort those beliefs out. Decide what's true. Decide what's bullshit. And, you know, write a Bible of beliefs that help you to say yes to your yes rather than no to your yes, okay? You can create all that and get that mindset. Sort that mindset out. Put that abundance mindset in place, that resilient, unbreakable mindset in place, that mindset that doesn't give in to fear and excuses, the mindset that allows you to see the opportunity in your obstacles and learn from those obstacles. Who are you and what is your life calling and why? Basically, that's the question. You know, that's that inner work, really connecting in. And connecting in does require healing, but it also enables healing. So if you're stuck in the story of where you've been and it's because that has hurt you in some way, connecting in and doing the inner work is going to enable that healing as well. So it's that question: who are you? What is your life calling? And why? And what is that worth? Man, what is that worth when you think about, like, you know, that year that I spent doing that and where it took me, it created time freedom. It allowed me to love myself again. It gave me confidence. It gave me clarity. And it gave me a business doing what I love every single day of my life. So just think about what that's worth, not just the impact on me, but the fact that I'm impacting other people now, the fact that I've spent my day training other people and speaking for other things. Like, What is that worth? And that will help you with your money mindset. When you think about paying for support in this journey that you want to take to You Unleashed, you know, like how much is that worth? Because for me, it's priceless. Okay. Number 2, step 2, go all in. Make that commitment to go all in, whatever it takes. Like when I was in Florida in May, the first time doing Play to Win, I finally, for the first time, I think ever, felt what was at stake if I don't do this. Like if I failed in this, I felt what I was going to lose. I finally felt what I was going to lose, and that gave me the fire I needed to go all in. And that feeling of going all in is a very unique, specific feeling that will allow you to run through walls, right? To do anything, to see the bigger picture when all of those things that hold you back, those feelings that hold you back, for me, like it's shame, feeling shame, doing this, you know, putting myself out there, having an opinion, would originally have made me feel like, oh, what if somebody doesn't agree? Fuck that. The bigger picture is, if 10 people don't agree and one person gets impacted, that's more important now, right? And I have the skills and the tools and everything else to not just inspire, but to transform. That's the bigger picture. So go all in. That's step number 2. After step number 1, when you've done the inner work to build the confidence, the self-belief, and the fire to do what you want to do. Hey, Teresa, step number 2 is to go all in and make that commitment. Hey, Tony, number 3, choose your coach. Don't do this on your own. Like, I spent so long doing it on my own, and you go so slow, you might as well go backwards, and you spin those wheels, and you feel frustrated, and you go broke, okay? So let's agree that impacting the world and living out that soul goal is not necessarily a moneymaker right off the bat, right? You're creating and leading, and that means that you got to find a whole shitload of people to follow you, and it takes time when you do it alone. So choose your coach, somebody that's been where you are, somebody who is way ahead of you and knows how to connect that, right? So they are where you want to be, they've been where you are, and they can provide you with the support to bridge the gap. And choose a level of investment that makes you want to vomit, because that is going to make you do the work. Because you can have big goals, right? You can have big goals up here, but you can have shit work ethic. And I learned the hard way on this. I gave a lot of coaching away for free, and I gave it away to people who had the big goals and the low work ethic, and they didn't do the work, and so nothing happened, right? So it's a waste of my time, and it's a waste of their time. So you want to invest in a coach that's going to make you feel uncomfortable. You want to be at that investment level that's just a little bit too much, to the point where it makes you scared, because if you're scared, you'll do the work, right? So step number 1, the inner work. Step number 2, go all in, make the commitment. Step number 3, choose your mentor, your coach. Step number 4, with that coach, build that vision out. Build that vision out so it's so clear, you know exactly where you're going. You know what that soul goal lived out looks like and how you're impacting people. The exact results that you are having in their life, so that you can describe them, right? And you can see you in that vision and all the things that success has brought into your life. You can see yourself climbing that mountain, or taking that trip, or sitting in the kitchen of that house. Like, be able to describe that vision so that you feel it like you're already there. Because then we're keying into the law of attraction and that actual manifestation, right? Step number 5, with your coach, literally write out those 5 steps to success. Sorry, not 5 steps. There might be 20 steps, but like, I'm getting tired now. Number 5 is have the steps to success. So the steps toward your vision, the steps to realize your vision. You've got the vision. What are the steps backwards? And make sure that it makes you feel clear, that you're going in a straight line. So you're going towards the vision in the fastest way. And then you can create that daily method of operation that is you doing those steps, right? So you're not waking up every day and spinning your wheels anymore. You're not feeling frustrated. You're feeling confident. You're feeling excited. And you're feeling fulfilled, because you have what you have to do and you're doing it, and things are finally moving forward. So those are my 5 steps to building an impactful business. Like I say, it's not really a live, it's a training. I was going to do a training. So, you know, if you feel that you got value from this, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear. If you want to share it with somebody you know is stuck, share it with them, because the broader this goes, the better, right? We need more people out there who are creating and leading and living out their soul goal. And having nothing to do with that, I just wanted to say also that I'm doing a massive Black Friday sale this weekend. So if you like Black Friday sales, and if you're curious as to what I do and how you can have it and all of that jazz, reach out to me, because I'm creating a little VIP list. So as soon as my Black Friday sale goes live, you'll be the first one to hear how you can benefit. So reach out to me by messenger if you want to go on the VIP list. And if I've referenced any tools here, like the money manifestation tool, anything like that, and you want it, reach out to me and I'll connect you to those as well. So hope that was helpful. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday evening. I'm going to go eat my dinner and signing out. Bye-bye.